A lot of big stories around this Michigan football program, but not a ton of news over the past 5, 6, 7 days. So we are going to give you the latest info on JJ McCarthy's future, what we know, and what we even predict in some ways on the future of the quarterback from Michigan, who is now 25-1 as a starter. Also, transfer portal is red hot. But how about the quarterback position after McCarthy? Have an update there for you here on the Michigan Football Report as we are approaching 30,000 subscribers. We're like 200 and something away from hitting 30,000. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you're your first time watching the video, hit that subscribe button. You can always unsubscribe later. It's free. If you like the show, like what you see, send that link to a friend, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Tell them to subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. National Signing Day, 1 week away from today. So perfect opportunity to subscribe. We have those stories and some updates on Jim Harbaugh all coming up right now. ESPN's Matt Miller, who's kind of replacing Todd McShay, at least not on TV or anything like that, but is like the second draft guy to Kuiper, is that what we call him here, Sam? What Miller is right now? He put Kuiper Jr., right? He was at Bleacher Report for like a decade. Prior to that, he was actually an ambulance guy. He drove around an ambulance. But ironically, somehow he parlayed the Bleacher Report free writing into a spot with ESPN. Nevertheless, he has got JJ McCarthy as a top 10 pick in his new ESPN mock draft that dropped on Tuesday, I should say. So we'll walk through all those picks, why he thinks McCarthy is NFL bound after this 2023 season, after Michigan wins the national championship, after they beat Alabama, and then take care of the winner of Washington and Texas. The game, it's coming up, folks. It's sooner than we think. We got 18, 19 days till Michigan, Alabama. So predict the score. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm holding strong, 24-17, Michigan getting the win. But go down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking as we are now less than 3 weeks from the college football playoff semifinal. Take a look at Matt Moore's ESPN mock draft from Matt Miller. What did I say? Matt Moore? Matt Miller. He's got Caleb Williams, Drake May. Nothing surprising there, going 1 and number 2. Marvin Harrison, pretty consensus at number 3. But how about Jaden Daniels? Wins the Heisman Trophy. Wasn't really projected by anybody to be a first-rounder going into this season. But nevertheless, he is there at number 4. But how about, number 5, number 6? You got Dallas Turner. We'll see him coming up in 3 weeks or so. Alabama's defensive end. JJ McCarthy coming in at number 7, going to the Raiders. Now, for JJ's sake, I hope he doesn't go to the Raiders because that's an absolute sham of a franchise and kind of a graveyard for quarterbacks over the past 20 years or so since they had a MVP, ironically, coached by Jim Harbaugh in the 2002 season. But nevertheless, number 7 pick. And you've got the 2 quarterbacks that everyone's been talking about for a year, Caleb Williams, Drake May, right at the top. Jaden Daniels sneaking in there inside the top 5. But Miller's reasons for putting McCarthy inside the top 10 are actually fairly plain and fairly simple. So here's what we have to say on JJ McCarthy: is instinctive, efficient, effective, second effort creator outside of the pocket. The Michigan scheme does not do no favors in terms of statistics, but NFL scouts continue to tell me that McCarthy will be drafted earlier than expected, right? He is one of the few at this point to have JJ McCarthy still as a top 10 pick. I mean, Mel Kiper put out his big board a couple weeks back. He had McCarthy all the way down there as the number 7 quarterback on his big board, behind guys like Quinn Ewers, and I believe Shedeur Sanders. So JJ down there at number 7 on Mel Kiper. His counterpart, ESPN, Miller, has McCarthy as number 7 overall going to the Raiders. And this is what I think is important right here from Matt Miller. He says, with Shedeur Sanders at Colorado and Quinn Ewers expected to return to college for the 2024 season, McCarthy's really the only first-round signal caller, the first-round quarterback that he would have for a team that needs a quarterback in the top 10, like he's got the Raiders projected to do at number 7. So according to Miller, McCarthy, the number 4 quarterback in the NFL draft, but it's going to be a quarterback-heavy draft, given how many teams are in need for a signal caller. And honestly, some of the success of the younger guys in the NFL over the past few years. I mean, we've talked about C.J. Stroud. He's a chump. Regardless, he's having some good success this year. A lot of teams are going to be in the need for a quarterback. JJ McCarthy, if he's projected there at number 7, I mean, look, I think he's got to go. But I'll ask you guys this question before I continue my thoughts on McCarthy and the NFL. Where will JJ McCarthy play next season? Give me an M down in the comments if you think it's going to be Michigan, come back for a fourth year, beat Ohio State again, fourth Big Ten championship, win a national championship back-to-back years, maybe wins a Heisman Trophy. He's up there in the top 3 or 4 candidates for the Heisman next season, or off to the NFL. Give me an N, M, or N. Let me know which one down in the comments. Later on in today's show, stick with us. We're going to talk about Jim Harbaugh's future, the contract, the language, the extension. What is the holdup? As we are now 12 days away from the date I told you might be make or break for Harbaugh remaining as the Michigan football head coach beyond this season. But I also do want to tell you about Prize Picks, the sponsor of the Michigan Football Report. It's the easiest and fastest way to play daily fantasy sports. You just pick more or less on player stats to win up to 25 times your money. This week on Prize Picks, I've got a few that I am going to lay out for you. I've got 2 picks, both quarterbacks coming up on Sunday. I got Lamar Jackson, all right? Who's he facing? The Jacksonville Jaguars, that's right. I've got him going more than 224.5 passing yards. Josh Allen, I'm going more than 259.5 passing yards for the Buffalo Bills quarterback against the Dallas Cowboys. I put $10 on that. If I get those 2 right, just by picking more or less, I win myself $30. You can make up to 6 picks and up to 25 times your money. And with Prize Picks, using our code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS, we're going to give you a $100 deposit match. So if you put up to $100, Prize Picks will match that, give you an extra $100 to start playing Prize Picks. I use it every single week. I've been playing college football all year, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. Absolutely love it. It takes me less than 60 seconds to put in my Prize Picks. Get going with Prize Picks. Really simple to play. Can make your picks in less than 60 seconds and get a $100 first deposit match up to $100 using code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Link is down in the comments and the description of today's Michigan Football Report. So where do we think JJ McCarthy is going to go? Now, I actually think the way college football is structured right now, with the transfer portal kind of starting right after the conference championship games, it actually puts a team like Michigan with a borderline decision for a quarterback like JJ McCarthy at a major disadvantage. If McCarthy had already had to decide if he's going to the NFL or not, Michigan would be absolutely full on board trying to recruit the best transfer portal quarterback possible, given the lack of depth, of proven depth behind McCarthy now and Jaden Davis coming in the 2024 recruiting class. But since he is not, having to make a decision until January 15th, I think it put Michigan at a major disadvantage. If he is Michigan's starting quarterback, if he's a projected top 10 pick, I should say, right? If he is coming back next year, I hope he comes back, right? If he is projected as a top 10 pick, even a top 15 pick, you gotta go. Despite Michigan football fans hoping for another year of, I think, Michigan's best quarterback in the history of the school, I hope he comes back. If he's a top 10 pick, top 15 pick, you gotta go. But he can take out insurance to protect himself against injuries, okay? And if he's a top 5 or top 10 pick in the next draft after that, 2025, the money and the guarantees are a lot bigger than being like pick number 27, 28, et cetera, down the line. So he's really got to get an assurance, at least in my opinion, of where he will land as a quarterback. If he's a top 10, top 15 pick, you got to go. If not, maybe take another run for it with Michigan. See who's coming back, guys like Junior Colson, Rod Moore, Donovan Edwards, and others. Maybe Michigan can make a run at a 4th straight Big Ten championship. How about Dante Moore? We've got more visits for Dante Moore. He's going to go to Oregon. Is it Michigan State? Is it Michigan? How LSU is throwing their hat in the ring after their Heisman Trophy performance from Jaden Daniels. But reminder, we asked you at the beginning of the show, we're getting near 30,000 subscribers, 206 away. So reminder, hit that subscribe button if you have yet to do so. What are you doing? You're missing out on some great Michigan football videos all December long. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Let's talk some Dante Moore. Being projected as a Michigan State battle by a lot of the scribes and pundits and media members, but other schools are lingering out there. He's finishing up. He's out in UCLA still right now, finishing up finals this week. Probably within 24 hours of you watching this video, his scholastic endeavors at UCLA will be wrapped up. Expected to start visits this weekend. Now, that is maybe the most important part of this, because the first visit that many expect him to take, although it's not official yet, is going to Oregon, the school he originally committed to in summer of 2022. But James, wait, Didn't Oregon just land themselves a transfer portal quarterback that's better than Dante Moore, at least statistically and experience? Well, they did. Dillon Gabriel, right? Been in college since, like, I was in college, I think. He's actually the same age as me, funny enough, Sam. You wouldn't believe that. But Dillon Gabriel has a 6th year in college because of COVID year and some injury happened, but this will actually be his 6th year starting next year. He's a 3-year starter at UCF, 2 at Oklahoma. And he's got 14,000 passing yards right now as a career. I mean, he's up there in the top 10 or 15 in passing yards in history. He is already committed to Oregon. He's their quarterback of the future and the backup this year, right, to Bo Nix. Ty Thompson, he sees the writing on the wall. They're bringing him Dillon Gabriel. He's entered the portal himself. So why would Dante Moore, be visiting Oregon, be looking at Oregon? Well, I think there's 2 reasons. It would be because he just doesn't like any other school, and that's a school he maybe wanted to and should have gone to in the first place. They may not have taken Bo Nix had he committed to them originally. I'm not sure. But maybe he wants to take a step back, sit for a year, maybe even redshirt if they only play him in 3 or 4 games, get the opportunity to learn the system, Dan Lanning, etc. at Oregon, sit behind Gabriel for a year and not be thrown right into it like he was as a freshman at UCLA, and then be the starter as what will be a redshirt sophomore year in 2025. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen, but he is expected to make his first visit to the Ducks either Friday or Saturday. Could be as towards a 24-hour visit before he heads back to the Midwest, maybe taking in Michigan State next week. We shall see. The odds are out there, though. Sportsbooks allow you to bet this. It's a competitor to our sportsbook partner, so I won't give them a plug. No free ads here. Michigan State right now, the favorite to land Dante Moore, according to the sportsbook betting markets, just over 5 to 4 odds, plus 125. Michigan a little bit behind them, a plus 150, but still better than not odds to land Dante Moore. I think they're kind of hedging their bets. It's a big drop off from there. Auburn, Indiana, and then LSU, who's making a little bit of a surge here, coming off the Heisman Trophy winning their quarterback last weekend. Those are the odds. Who do you know is not on there? It's Oregon is nowhere near the top 5 on him, but I think they still linger. I would put them right up there with Michigan and Michigan State as a 3-team battle. My thoughts on this process, though, with Dante Moore is it makes a lot of sense. If JJ comes back or he doesn't come back, if he comes back, you get the same situation as Oregon, and you've probably got a team lined up in the future to win at a higher level in 2025, 2026, when he would be the starting quarterback. But I want to know what the holdup is. Michigan has been recruiting him for 5-6 years since he was a 7th grader, right? He's going to be in his 2nd year in college next year. He had the opportunity to commit to Michigan before senior year of high school. He chose not to. He chose Oregon. Then he flipped to UCLA on signing day. Now he's got a second point of recruitment. At some point, it just seems like Dante Moore has been playing Michigan, putting him off the side, looking for a better dance partner. And if that's the case, I don't think Michigan should waste any time on him. I think they should go to him and say, Dante, we want you here. Here's what we can offer from playing time, transfer, or NIL, etc. If you don't want it, move on. But we're going to give you maybe 5 days to make a decision. I think they should be very strong in their stance and don't let him string them along like he has in the past. On another note, ESPN's Tom Luginbill put in his predictions for all the top 10 transfer portal quarterbacks. He is predicting Dante Moore to land at Michigan. So I'll ask you guys this question. Let's take a poll and a pulse of the fan base. Where will Dante Moore land his second college in, 4 months or whatever it is since he enrolled at UCLA? If it's Michigan, give me a like on this video. If it's somewhere else, comment the school that you think will land the 5-star signal caller from the 2023 recruiting class. We'll see if this video has more comments of schools or more likes. The people shall decide. How about Jim Harbaugh? Let's go over to that's the story that never ends for Michigan football fans, right? It's been going on 3-4 years. We're talking about this contract extension since 2019. There was a contract kind of demotion, then a little bit of an extension. Will Jim Harbaugh, after 2 straight years of talking to NFL teams, they're kind of pursuing those jobs, or those jobs pursuing him, where will this shake out? There's this NFL buyout deal, right, that Michigan wants to have language in there that makes it almost impossible financially for Jim Harbaugh to pursue an NFL job this season. And that's got to be out there. It's like, well, wouldn't that be obvious? Why would Jim Harbaugh sign a contract and then 2 weeks later go take a job with the NFL? That's what I think. And if Michigan is getting pushback from Harbaugh's people on that clause, I think they know where his intentions lie. And maybe that's why the contract hasn't been re-signed at this point. NFL language seemingly causing the hold-up. From what we've been told, all the other terms are the same of where they were back in October. I know some people have said 5 years, $55 million. We're hearing 8 years, $96 million, a $12 million a year per deal. Now, that 5 years, others reported that might be an extension past his current contract, which lasts 3 more years. My source on that, 8 for 12 or 8 for 96, $12 million a year, is actually starting in 2024, going through 2031. So remember the date, folks. Remember the date I told you last week, December 25th. If Jim Harbaugh is sitting there at the Christmas table, or the dinner table for Christmas dinner, and he does not have a contract in front of him that he has signed from Michigan, they'll leave for the Rose Bowl the next day, and according to our sources, what Jim Harbaugh has told, he will then, after Michigan season's over, listen to all comers in the NFL with a keen eye on the Chicago Bears. With the Rose Bowl less than 3 weeks away, I don't know from you guys, where will you be watching this? Maybe the biggest game in the history of Michigan football. On the couch at your house, going to a friend's house or watching with a group of friends. Let me know. A bar, or will you be in the stadium at the Rose Bowl? Give me a C, an F, a B, or an R down in the comments. Major announcement. Boop, 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 boop. I'll be headed to the Rose Bowl. We just booked flights, just booked hotels, lodging, etc. Don't have tickets to the game. We're not going to do a media thing because the tickets, honestly, actually terrible. Want to go with my son, wife, etc. I'll be out there. If you're out there, hit me on Twitter at James Yoder. Let me know where the pregame, the haps are happening, the tailgates, etc. I'll happy to swing by and say what's up. We will have another video for you on Thursday, Friday, probably this weekend as well, doing another live show 1 week from today. National Signing Day. So mark your calendars. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. So I see you guys next time. Go Blue.